You only need a safe rig to animate with, unless you're doing something funky. For some reason, this doesn't actually work the way it looks. This should work. If we put location rotation and I insert a key, move these legs, insert a key, you'll see that they don't work right. Something's lagging behind. Now I may be able to go into the graph editor, figure out what Blender is doing to that, and rectify it. Because I think maybe some interpolation stuff is going on. I can maybe just test that and see. But instead of going through all that crazy, and look at that, that just shouldn't be happening, because if I rotate that way, visually they rotate right. So I'm going to delete this animation, make sure the animation is removed from Blender entirely. Here it is. I just want to get rid of that empty one. I want to leave stale ones around. I'm going to go into edit mode and create a bone to control these two. And rig tools, I want to get my view back. Match edit to view. I'm going to duplicate the pelvis. Right click. And I want to change the length of that bone so we can access it better, see it. And I'm going to put constraints on, make sure there's no parent here. I'm going to put constraints on these two bones and make the this rig a target and that bone the result. You have to do that in pose mode. I'll use a child of, because the bones are not in the exact same spot, and I can use the invert and the child of constraint. Pick the rig, and the bone is, well, let's name the bone so we can find it easier. And set invert. And then we'll animate that bone to get the effect that we want, which is that. So lock rut, that's fine. Insert a key. Hi. And maybe halfway through an Alt-RG. And that's animated. Now I'll use the character tools retarget motion in order to transfer this motion to the rest of the rig on the retarget rig, the proxy. I need to do this because these legs are not animated. An unknown bone is animated, so effectively this is now not a compatible Second Life rig. But all the bones that we want to animate are, so we just do a match map. That just creates a map inside that matches all the bones to their own names, and allowing us to create a retarget rig. I'll give it some distance and action, and you'll see that the rig moves with the source animation rig. Now we're experiencing a problem, as you can see, because the relative rotations are what's being implemented here in the retargeter, which is what you usually want. But in this particular case, because of the way we're rotating, the legs. Location data is required. So we need to click this button for global rotations. And now we get the desired effect. Usually you don't want that, but in this case we do. So now I can just export from here. And actually I'll do it again with loop enabled. I want the loop enabled so I can see what I'm doing in Second Life. Now let's go over there and test it. So this looks right. Aside from the background animations which are playing, you can see that this works as intended.